all of which pose unique threats to the United States and our partners. China's actions reflect a long-term strategy to achieve global superiority. Beijing's global ambition continues to restrict the personal freedoms of its citizens while strictly enforcing obedience to Chinese leadership, with very few remaining checks on President Xi's power. In its efforts to diminish U.S. influence and extend its own economic, political, and military reach, Beijing will seek to tout a distinctly Chinese fusion of strongman autocracy and a form of Western-style capitalism as a development model and implicit alternative to democratic values and institutions. These efforts will include the use of its intelligence and influence apparatus to shape international views and gain advantages over its competitors, including especially the United States. China's pursuit of intellectual property, sensitive research and development plans, and the U.S. person data remains a significant threat to the United States government and the private sector. China's military capabilities and reach will continue to grow as it invests heavily in developing and fielding advanced weapons, and Beijing will use its military clout to expand its footprint and complement its broadening political and economic influence, as we have seen with its One Belt, One Road initiative. As part of this trend, we anticipate China will attempt to further solidify and increase its control within its immediate sphere of influence in the South China Sea and its global presence further abroad. Whereas with China, we must be concerned about the methodological and long-term efforts to capitalize on its past decade of a growing economy and to match or overtake our superior global capabilities.
Senator Risch.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say that I'm always astounded in this committee and the Foreign Relations Committee with the volume of issues that we have to deal with. I think your opening statement, Director Coates, indicated how difficult this is to process all this and to deal with all this. And your statement, for the record, that all of you joined in, again lays this out for us. It tells us the kind of volume that we have to deal with, and we're certainly only going to scratch the surface here today. But I want to focus on something that doesn't get as much focus as I think it should. We seem these days, every time we pick up media or turn on TV, they're talking about Russia and Russia's ham-handed efforts to affect things in the world. And certainly it's a concern. But in my judgment, and I think many others, the real concern is China. We're approaching the end of the first fifth of the 21st century, and if we've learned anything, it's the last few decades have convinced us that China in the 21st century, as we proceed through it, is going to be a major competitor of ours in every way that there is, obviously economically, militarily, culturally, and every other way. And look, this is going to happen. We're living in the 21st century. That communications and transportation are so different than what they were, and we as the United States are going to wind up having to compete like we never have before with a gorilla that's starting to get to be about the same size we are. And as a result of that, we're going to have to learn to deal with that.
This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.